We're getting ready for Week 8, Season 6 of the Batty League.
Yeah. So Rek'Sai, but to go off like Fiora, let's talk about, the big problem that's been plaguing solo queue, and that's all these bans, all these juggernauts. Practically every solo queue game I play, it's the 4 juggernauts: Darius, Skarner, Mordekaiser, Garen, plus Gangplank and Fiora.
Uh,
And
in my solo queue games, I see less of the Gangplank. That's more of a flex. But without a doubt, it is always going to be all 4 juggernauts and all of the Fiora.
all of the Fiora,
Yeah.
If I could waste 6 bans on Fiora, I would do that.
Well,
But it's going to be interesting because in SBL, you don't ban just like the strong solo queue picks. You target ban. You take away strong picks for certain players.
Exactly.
And I guess we're starting off with Mordekaiser and Skarner. So
those are both juggernauts, but those are also 2 champions that each player on the other team proficiently plays. I mean, you got a Mordekaiser for Lady AJ0, who is just had a hard on for Mordekaiser since probably season 2, I think, if I recall.
Yeah.
And then Skarner for Master Splinter, who, just plays Skarner to perfection almost every single time he gets it.
Yeah.
The perfect try-hard champion.
Totally. And the Fiora ban's coming out against Thor. Thor, actually checked his match history, has 3 or 4 games on Fiora. And the Kalista ban, obviously, for Kainos, and he will always pull a Kalista ban. Like last season, he absolutely dominated, and that was when Kalista was like extremely overpowered, first picked or banned every game. But he still shown through. Like early in the season, he still was picking Kalista and wrecking people. You just can't let him have that.
Exactly.
And the first pick overall is going to be Darius.
Yeah, Master Splinter securing that Darius. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be a pretty awesome lore matchup. Garen versus old Darius in the top lane. Thor is hovering Garen, but we'll see if he finalizes that pick. I've heard a couple things about those two juggernauts. Darius snowballs harder, but if he doesn't get going, he kind of falls off. He gets kited pretty hard. And Garen's a bit easier to play, but he also gets snowballing a bit easier. We'll see what Lady AGS0 picks to kite that Darius around with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be Caitlyn. Standby for him. Very lane dominant ADC. Hopefully he's able to get some pressure early game, get that bot tower early on, rotate over to the mid. Because I think that's crucial for Guerrilla Radio. They need to start the game on their own terms. They need to start making the plays and get like a small gold lead, and then have Swift just in the driver's seat, try to micromanage, try to rotate around the lanes. Because I don't know if they can win in a straight up like team fight. Because Salt Shaker this season has shown time and time again you really can't team fight them.
Yeah, it's that team awareness that they have that is just so strong. They always seem to be grouped when they need to be, and they can just beat any team they want to in a team fight. But a lot of that lane dominance for Swift on Caitlyn is going to be out of that support role, so we'll see this next round who Cruz picks up. But it looks like Team Salt Shaker is going to solidify their bot lane in Jinx and Braum.
Oh man, very very strong bot lane. Braum right now is one of the top support picks. He just does everything you'd want out of support right now. Oh, actually no, it's going to be an Ahri pick.
Yeah, it looks like Scotch rolled over to that Ahri at the last second. But I mean, Braum still, you can talk about Braum for days. I mean, he has a knock-up as well as a displacement on anyone behind his ult line. He has that built-in stun, especially if they do end up picking a Jinx later down this draft queue. I mean, as her Q ramps up, it's just going to be easier and easier to stun.
Yeah, absolutely. And Braum can block a lot of the damage actually coming out of Caitlyn. Caitlyn relying a lot on projectiles, like the built over Peacemaker and her ult,
as well as that 90 caliber net. If he can soak that up, it's going to be pretty hard to kite.
Yeah, dude, golden. Got him.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And I was thinking Cruisemaster was pretty much 100%. I was 100% confident he was going to pick either Karma or Nautilus. And I'm surprised. I'm happily surprised actually that he picked Zyra, which is always one of his old favorite support picks. And Zyra Caitlyn is just oppressive in lane.
Oh,
It's
there's gonna be so
like
much poke there.
yeah, like the zoning too, because you can lay down the seeds and the traps, and you basically just create this zone around the mini wave. You can't get anywhere near it because one snare out of Cruise Master and you chunk down to half health.
Kind of showing a lot of balls here, hovering that Vayne against such an oppressive bot lane. We'll see.
Nah,
if,
dude, there's no way he'd pick that.
Oh, okay.
Thank God, yeah. He's just trolling, man. That would be just death for Vayne.
I just thought he was gonna just rely so heavily on please team carry me to the late game and then I'll carry you. Get that Vayne mindset of let me carry you.
Yeah. Maybe that was a statement. Maybe that's like, you know, oh, I'll pick Vayne. We're 7-0. We'll still win. I'll still pick Vayne to the worst situation. But I'm glad he's playing it conservative. He's not PM in here. Locks in a Sivir pick. He's also performed well in Sivir. But pretty much everyone and their mother performs well in Sivir. So
yeah, exactly. It's just a Sivir comp, as the saying goes.
Just a Sivir comp, yeah. And you got Hecarim too. Is that jungle Hecarim for Master Splinter, man?
Master Splinter getting the old
something
horse.
I didn't think we'd even see all season.
I mean, I don't know if anyone joining us didn't watch the previous seasons, but Hecarim has always been a sort of standby for Master Splinter. When I think of Master Splinter, I think of that good old horse and him just running carries down with them.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Death God Nero is going to lock in his trusted Tryndamere. We're going to see some pretty hard splitting out of this Trynd.
Tricky Dick Tryndamere here, yeah.
Tricky Dick Tryndamere. Where's he taking him though? Is it going to be a Garen top Tryndamere mid?
Oh, wait a minute.
What's this tomfoolery we have here?
What? Oh, yeah. Well, Thor's got that TP.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. If Tryndamere is going mid, it's going to be against an Ahri, and as soon as he gets charmed, it's going to spell a good game for him. Especially with Ahri's Q being able to pass through minions and still do full damage to champions.
Yeah. Garen does have the better matchup, if I want to say that, against Ahri. But it's still bad. It's still, like, melees into Ahri is still pretty bad. I'd imagine Deathot's going to go top, because he doesn't really pick teleport regardless, and I think he's bringing that Ignite to try to shut down Darius early. So and then have a TP on the team later in the game. Like, you know, if Thor does get big, then he becomes a split pusher. But yeah, very odd. But the last pick we haven't talked about is Thermidor on Jungle Shyvana, which I don't see a lot of Jungle Shyvana nowadays in solo queue. The sort of the Devourer champs sort of went away.
Yeah, well,
not as much.
Calm down with the Devourer junglers going away, because I still think they're here to stay forever until they release another jungler item that's going to be OP next season. But yeah, Jungle Shyvana just it's not as strong of a Devourer jungler. I mean, she gets super farm early, but then she hits sated and has no CC to kind of back that up. And if you look at their team, they have no CC to hold the other team down while the Devourer smacks away at them.
Yeah. Yep, I was gonna say, yeah, let's transition into team comp discussion here, because Guerrilla Radio's team comps, to me, I don't even know what they're trying to do here. Like, obviously Tryndamere sort of defaults to a split pusher, right? That's exactly what he does best. So you could run a 1-4 here, but
I think they're going to need to run
I mean, they have disengage. Zyra's the key here. Zyra's probably their best pick in this team comp. Because Zyra will allow them to actually stay as 4 and easily engage or disengage. But otherwise, they have some good early game too. But they have a lot of ramp time too. It's all over the place. While Salt Shaker, that is like just a bona fide Sivir comp. Their mobility is off the charts.
Yeah.
It's a pick comp, and in later game with Darius fed, they can still team fight effectively. I mean, just on champ select alone, I think Salt Shaker is taking the win.
Yeah, this team comp out of Guerrilla Radio, like you said, I don't know what to say about it. The only AP that they're going to have coming out of that team comp is going to be Cruz. Yeah. I'm interested to see his build path, if he's going to try to pick up that full AP caster role, or if they're just going to go just full on AD and hope that Team Salt Shaker forgets to buy armor, I suppose.
I'd have to imagine one of the 5 players in Salt Shaker will point out during the game, oh shit, they have like tons of physical damage.
If
Buy
they haven't
a Frozen
already.
Heart, or buy a Thornmail, or
Exactly.
oh man, oh my god. I mean, the new Randuin's is actually really good against crit-based champions.
Tell me what they
so
changed.
I think in Randuin's,
Yeah.
the passive is reduces like all crit damage by 10% or something like that.
Okay. Does that stack with
the
the
slow?
Sorry. Go ahead.
The slow also has changed. It used to be based on the amount of armor or something, or it's a flat 4-second slow, I believe, or something like that.
Well, all right then. Does that crit reduction scale off of? Well, not does it scale off of, but does it stack multiplicatively with the mastery down the defensive tree too?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep,
geez.
it will.
A lot of this team really relies on that crit. I mean, Caitlyn with her headshot at that 7th stack does ridiculous amounts of damage, especially with Swift just religiously always rushing that Infinity Edge. And then Tryndamere is a crit. He's just a walking crit, and you should be ready for it with that Randuin's. And it looks like we are in game. Viewers, please ignore the week 7. We are in week 8.
Yeah, it's minus 10% damage from critical strikes, and yeah, I mean Tryndamere and even Caitlyn. I mean, Caitlyn will buy the IE too, so someone on their team will hopefully pick up Randoms. It'd actually be a really good pickup for Splinter if he can fit it in his build somewhere. I also know that like Frozen Heart's really good on Hecarim just because of the mana, and it's a little more expensive. So
yeah, but really you're paying for that active, and the active is better than the last. You said it was a flat 4 seconds.
Yeah, for 4 seconds. Yep. Slowing enemies units by 35% for 4 seconds.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, either way he goes, like he just needs to build basically the jungle item and then an armor item and then dive the back line. He should be good.
Are gonna meet head on here in this river as they set up vision.
Yeah, some good early wards out for Guerrilla Radio, making sure that they don't lose control of their jungle. It's important Thermidor has the safety of farming his own jungle. It's gonna be I think the big thing for Thermidor is whether he's going to just farm safely and let his lanes sort of be on their own, or is he going to like invade and actually try to counter jungle, try to get Master Splinter down, and accelerate his own growth to get that Devourer.
I mean, that's a scary situation, especially with Team Salt Shaker playing like they have been. If they see Shyvana even close to their jungle camps, I'm almost 100% sure that they're just going to rotate on that and get a free kill and just kind of snowball this win. And here we go. Gold advantage going to Guerrilla Radio. Thanks to that cruise queue.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's when you counter jungle as these Devourer champs, especially Shyvana, you need your laners to be able to come in and help you out. And your laners, if you're on the top side of the map, are Garen and Tryndamere. Oh man. Thor 74 and Death God, they're sitting in the bush. Death God actually spins in.
Oh my god.
First blood going over to Steinhausen. They didn't have any wards over there.
No, I don't know what they were thinking. It looked like Team Salt Shaker actually decided to come through the wolf camp. Guerrilla Radio had that red ward right underneath that banana bush, but just didn't have the vision that they needed and give up first blood. Very costly. It went to looks like it went to Sivir. Ooh, that's gonna get bot snowballing really hard.
Yeah, I mean it's just a D-Blade right now, but a D-Blade is a D-Blade. Like
Exactly.
You still have more attack damage and you have a little bit more sustain. So ideally, on paper, you should be winning all trades. But if I mean, Cruisemaster and Swift, they can still play this one pretty effectively, like we were saying earlier. Their bot lane is just so strong. It'll be up to Braum actually to try to block a lot of this poke coming in. And also, Kindhausen has the spell shield. I'm sure I've seen in the past his use of spell shield is very good.
We'll just have to see how this one plays out. He was late to getting to lane, so now they have this level 2 advantage. Looks like Cruz opted for more damage instead of that snare.
Yeah, so yeah, an early level 2, but I mean they're really not pushing it too hard. They could be playing a little further up right now and trying to zone out Kainos a little bit more.
What I've found is the Zyra support, it's a little harder to engage on that level 2 because you rely on your 3 skills so heavily. I mean, you need your root, you need your damage, and you also need the seedling, so it's really that level 3 that you have to watch out for with Zyra.
Yeah, I agree. And it seems like a spin battle up top.
Exactly.
And oh, I guess let's talk about Death God's actually in the mid lane. I honestly thought it was gonna be Garen.
Yeah.
But,
I'm very curious about that because with Death God just loving to split so hard, it's hard to split mid. I mean, it's the shortest lane. You have a whole bunch of pressure coming at you from any area. I mean, it looks like Hecarim right now is coming from the top of mid.
Yeah, and he's
him.
In that mid lane here. Deals a relentless assault onto Death God. Oh, Charm goes wide. A little laugh spam to show him who's still in control here. And yeah, Thermidor took a visit to the top lane here. Thor's got the silence going in to spin to win, and he'll pick up a kill for himself.
We'll see.
So that's good. He was getting pretty beat down in CS, but a little help from Thermidor, and he's on the board.
And that's all you need. It's just that little advantage. Hopefully help him get back in the CS game. And looks like Darius was able to pick up a longsword and boots, and that's all we know about coming into lane. We'll see what Garen picks up. Going back with just under 1.1k. Generally, with these new juggernauts, you want to be going back with at least 1.3, just so you can get that solid phage.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's trying to do, but didn't have enough, so he gets the boots instead. No consumables.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I mean, Garen, his passive is really good, and he can sustain health back by just sort of playing back in CS and not trying to fight. But I would like 2 health pots at least.
Yeah. If not just 1, I mean, Darius is going to try to keep those blood stacks on you.
And Death God's down here in the bottom lane. A Million Babies forced to flash.
I like that rotate. Caught them off guard. It looks like he's just... looks like what he's going to try to do is just push that lane up and just get as many roams as he possibly can.
Yeah, not a bad idea because you really can't do much sticking in lane against the RA.
Yeah.
But I mean, his roam is also not the best either. But they got a flash. That's
that's something.
At the end of the day.
That's gonna help out Caitlyn and Zyra. If they get a snare, they won't be able to back out of that.
Oh, Master Splinter is in the bot lane. He comes to try. Baby's really low. They actually force Kainos out of this fight, and Cruise Master has to use the respect flash there. Cruise, Swift was trying to go in, trying to get that last hit, and 2 members of Soul Shaker are so low.
Looks like they're bringing Ari down too. Let's see if she might be able to pick something up. She is not quite 6 yet. Oh no, she is 6 and she has ult. So
yeah.
Looks like they're actually going to be playing pretty safely here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's an alright roam because, like, you're not going to lose much. You're maybe going to lose a couple minions of experience. But if Cruz and Swift, if they kept going, that was probably a double kill for Ari. And Thor laying down the justice.
Demacian Doomslayer, as Swift so kindly coined last week. The Demacian Doomslayer coming down on Darius' head.
Yeah.
That'll show that Noxus scum is boss.
Yeah, wow, that's... So, already 2-0 for the good doer in that lane.
And they're gonna pick up a dragon too. Wow. Looks like they're getting their ball rolling in their favor.
Yeah, a little 400 gold lead. It's pretty cute. It's pretty nice. I still nothing to get too amped about if I were them. They still have a lot of work to do here. But as far as the 2-0 in that top lane, how do you think that one's going to be playing out now?
Garen is, well, it's difficult to say because it only takes one mistake to really turn the tide of that top lane. Darius still has the CS lead, but Garen does have that item advantage on him because of the 2-0. I'd say if Garen can really snowball that in his favor, should be a pretty winnable lane. Looks like he's trying for that blue steel, but he just can't pick it up.
Yeah, that would have been amazing if Thor got that, but no dice.
Yeah, it looked like Hecarim's smite was down by just a few seconds.
Death God spinning in onto Michirugi, laying down a little bit of damage. That's a little more than I thought it would. And Thor
Garen
Garen in the
Oh
bush.
my god.
Classic.
Garen comes out of his bush and takes
Oh.
Scotch to half health just off one
Yeah.
little spin combo.
Yeah, dude,
Loses
Garen's
vision.
in every bush.
God, I see that he should be able to snowball this into a win in his lane.
Yeah. Just the Phage passive alone, like, this is a long lane in top lane, so if Darius gets into a bad position and picks the wrong fight, I think Garen can actually just chase him down and get the kill.
Essentially, yeah. The Phage actually procs off of every spin, so he'll be able to stay on top of him pretty easily.
Oh, that's so cool. That's... Yeah, still looking good down here in bot lane here. Swift a little bit of a CS lead. He's got that BF. Kainosen only
Tryndamere
has that
invading on
pickaxe.
Splinter's red here. Looks like he's not going to get much out of it.
Ooh, Cruisemaster laying down the root on the Kainosen. And Kainosen, he's getting bullied out, man. He's getting poked down.
What's the CS? Oh, yeah, looks like Swift is 8 CS up on him.
Oh,
Oh my
Kainosen
goodness.
forced to flash over to the Stone Thrower wall. Death God, he's getting really low here. And see if they get the kill on Max Splinter. They do. Death God's got the ultimate pop, and he's going in on Kaino. His spell shield's not going to help you.
Gets the
Auto
kill.
attack picks up the kill, double kill for him. And no, Death God's the only one to go down. A 1 for 2 for Guerrilla Radio.
Man, that is just what he needed, especially with that CS difference going to Ahri. That those 2 kills are really going to help him buy what he needs.
Yeah, man, Death God, we're not used to seeing him in the mid lane where he can come in and actually affect the game.
What is he doing by
30
other
minutes.
teammates?
Yeah, and it's interesting to see the interaction because it seems like he just goes into the red side jungle and he just fights. And luckily, his teammates were there to follow up and picking up 2 kills for himself early on.
Makes me wonder if there was any sort of Demacian Doomslayer coming out. Oh my sweet Jesus, that is so rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah, oh man, just great visual and sound effect. 3-0 for Thor 74.
Yeah, he's going to get this rolling real hard in his favor. We're going to have to see if he's able to carry that through the mid game too. Going back, just buying a straight up Kindle Gem, that helps Garen so much. He's not really mana reliant, doesn't have any sort of resource he needs, so all he needs is more cooldowns to spin for a longer amount of time.
That's true. And both top laners haven't used their teleport yet. The first dragon went over pretty cleanly to Guerrilla Radio, no contest there, but the next one, I'd imagine there'd be a little more interaction from the top laners. And I don't want to count Scotchnut's Darius out because Darius scales pretty well into the late game just through his passive.
Exactly.
And, you know, he does get those resets on the ultimate.
Yeah, he's only going to get stronger as the game goes on, especially with his Q. It actually is a little less effective early game, and a bit more effective in the late game. I'm not sure if anyone noticed last game or last trade they had where Thor got that kill, but Darius's Q, his handle doesn't it doesn't proc that hemorrhage. And that's what ended up happening. So he didn't get as much damage as he would have preferred, and it just ended up going south in his favor. We'll have to see if it works out for him.
Oh, Kaino's been popping that silver ult here. Master Splinter comes through the lane. Onslaught's onto Cruisemaster and gonna go over to Kaino's.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard Hecarim gank. Just ghost as fast as you can through that lane. Thermidor doing some sneaky shit here in this bush.
Yeah.
Gonna draw that flash. Thermidor's going in.
But maybe not on the same page here. Thermidor actually
The
ults
Doomslayer.
in, and will the X get him?
Oh!
And they do. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That damage is gonna stay there in the late game.
Yep, exactly. And the more he just needs to get one good spin, and his Q actually in the late game will heal him for 30% of his health if he hits at least 3 champions.
Yeah, and the new Darius, his mana costs are so low, and on this patch they don't even scale. So he basically just never runs out of mana.
Essentially.
Late game. Yeah, he just keeps on spinning, keeps on healing, disrupts the fight with his E.
If we look at the kill distribution here, is something I kind of want to take a look at. Garen is 4-0, and he has almost all the kills on his team. I want to see how Guerrilla Radio plays this out as we transition into this mid game.
Yeah, I missed last week, but I don't know if we've ever really seen Thor in this position where he has all the gold on his team, and he's basically in the position where he's expected to do a little bit of the carrying here in the mid game.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope-
excited to see what he
It should
does.
be pretty well.
Yeah, last night I gave him a little bit of flack, saying he wasn't the best top laner in the league, and now he's in a position to prove me wrong. So I honestly hope he does. Here he is in the bush. You're gonna spin all over Scotch's face,
Yeah.
and Scotch is gonna miss his Q.
Yeah.
Lackluster.
That channel time really just messes with you. Old Darius players, you know.
Oh my God, he doesn't even give any.
He-
Oh
Oh no!
oh no! Oh my
Johnson
goodness!
now with the ult play doesn't give Thor the time to actually use the ult for Garrett.
Yeah.
But while across the map, Gorilla Ray is going to pick up a second dragon. Match spinner a little too late there to contest.
Yeah, they while we were talking about that matchup top lane, they were really removing all the vision that they possibly could pretty effectively around that dragon. They were able to pick it up.
Yeah, you're right. They have some really good wards around dragon. And I don't know where Match Spinner was. I think he was just somewhere else on the map. Maybe just not having the mindset to try to get that dragon.
Yeah. With Gorilla Radio having a 1-5 or 1-6 record, maybe Team Saltshaker isn't giving them the respect that they deserve.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, it's like a 300 gold right now, right? But you have two dragons. That's good, and that you got the dragons going, so you're on par for some Dragon 5s. That could be a win condition for this team. That actually is a really good win condition for this team.
Looks like this
Both
could be a pretty
Tryndamere
big
and Garen would get the aspect of the dragon that would help them like a ton in a team fight.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Every single Garen spin is gonna be proccing that true damage. It's gonna get that damage is gonna get pretty stupid pretty quick.
Yep, and both teams trading the tower here.
You really want to get that mid more than top, just because
Yeah.
you always want mid control, as I've heard.
Yeah, always get mid control in every esports ever. But yeah, you're right. It opens up the map, allows you to go into the enemy jungle and sort of rally back into the mid lane. But this is good for Thor to get that top tower. Now he can really just pressure Scotch not in.
I'm kind of disappointed that they were just able to take 4 mid without Gorilla Radio really being able to do anything about it. I would have liked to see a oh, actually Thor's teleport was down, so there was really nothing we could do.
Yeah, he had a teleport top to try to save his own tower.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gorilla Radio doesn't have the best wave clear. Like usually the wave clear comes from the mid laner in most traditional team comps, and you have Death God on Tryndamere. So your wave clear is basically Caitlyn and Cruz, and that's about it. Thermidor can clear a wave, but not very safely, and he's still farming that Devour. Let's see what he's at. He's at 26 stacks. So is this pretty on point right now for Sated?
20. It looks like he's 27, 26. He is really flying towards that Sated. With Sated, I generally aim for about 18, 19 minutes. It looks like he's going to hit it at that point, but those 2 dragons that they've focused down have really seem to be paying off for his Sated. And we'll just... It's interesting with Shyvana because, yes, you can get Sated, but then you have no... you don't have any sort of CC to back it up and hold them down while you whack at them with that Sated passive. So
yeah,
we'll see if he's able to utilize
thing.
it. And here we go.
Yeah.
He is Sated at exactly 17 minutes. A pretty early Sate as far as the Baddie League goes.
Nice, yeah, and he's got the 2 components for that blade, so... yeah, a blade and a Sated Devourer and Shyvana does just an insane amount of damage, but like you said, it's a matter of whether your teammates can hold them down, boys.
Exactly. Let's see how much gold he has in his pocket. Yeah, he actually has enough to go back and finish that Blade of the Rune King. So we'll be able to see if he goes back, cashes that in before they fight again.
Man. Actually, I just realized that this team can set up a 1-3-1 really effectively because Thermidor can start split pushing on the Shyvana.
Yeah.
Same with Tryndamere. Yeah, they went down together, holding hands, taking down that bottom tower.
One thing I'm interested to see is how quickly and how soon that they set up the 1-3-1 or even a 1-4. He tried to get snowballing in the mid game. Talking about Death God here. Looks like he tried to get started in the mid lane, and I wonder if they're going to have him just rotate and do Death God Nero things in other lanes while they set up a 4-man push. Or
Yeah,
if they end up going with that 1-3-1.
Yeah, and I mean, Thor still has a teleport, which is pretty crucial in setting up split pushes, so they're still opting to send him into that top lane. Saltshaker's grouping up right now into this mid game, and that's really good. Their team comp basically just screams, we're going to group us, put us 5 and press R on Sivir, and hopefully we'll find the fight.
Yeah, they're going to
I think
really
Guerrilla Radio can out-rotate them here, honestly. They have the pressure top for Thor is really good right now. He's forcing Scotch not to come to him.
Then he'll just be able to back out, hide in a bush, like Garen does.
Yeah.
And then if they come and try to fight him, he's going to reduce their armor to nearly nothing, as he just did there. Be able to 1v1 anyone he wants. Oh gosh, look at the spot lane. Here they come. On to Keinhosen.
Oh!
See you later, Keinhosen.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
and they have 3 rotating down on Trin and Shyvana now, though. Oh, nope, looks like they're going to pull back to mid, going to stop that Swift push in mid lane.
Yep. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's actually Thermidor and Death God, they stayed bot and they backed up a bit, and then once they saw, you know, Soulshaker in mid lane going on to Swift and Cruz, this is fine. Cruz will sacrifice his life here, but they're gonna get some pressure down bot.
They're going to, oh gosh, I see them
They're not
pulling
gonna
off
lose
into
the
the
tower for
jungle.
this.
I see them pushing off into the jungle, and I don't agree with that. They really need to be up on those minions, taking them out.
No, I think, well, Thermidor laid down the ward there. Death God's just zoning. He's gonna be a mobile ward here.
Yeah.
And try to
he's,
zone, but there's three coming down right now. Dragon's up right now, actually, so Cruise Master is still down.
I mean, you can
I
only
think
box out
Soulshaker
so
should just
much.
rotate over to Dragon here.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it's a free dragon. But Garen does still have teleport, so does Darius, and Swift is actually going to be able to pick up a free mid tower if he can get away from this.
Yep. Yes, he has to use both heal and flash, so that's really big for the ensuing Dragon fight here. But he did, yeah, you're right, he got the mid tower. So they're up a tower here, and 2 dragons, but I don't see them contesting this. Yeah, Swift's just going to opt to go back here. He doesn't have sums. Probably has a lot of gold in his pocket. Yep, 1.8k.
So yeah, like you said, Saltshaker's just going to start grouping up, looking for those fights. It's really in Guerrilla Radio's best interest to just say, okay, you can try to fight us, but we are going to run away as fast as we possibly can.
I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to fight us, but we're going to respectfully decline, and we're going to go split push other lanes.
Exactly. It's really up to the Sivir comp. I mean, you can run away as fast as you can, but it's really hard to outrun a Hecarim and a Sivir ult. And it looks like Master Splinter's actually opting to go for Triforce first. Doesn't have it even finished yet. Or tier 2 boots.
Yeah. Splinter, I mean, yeah, he really always wants to go jungle item into a damage item, then into tankiness. But he didn't get any kills early on. He got a couple assists, and yeah, it's just not enough to get that Triforce where he really wants it. He really should have the Triforce right now. And he'll be weakened if they actually do want to fight with him.
Exactly.
Compared to the Shyvana, I mean, Shyvana's already got the Merc Treads and the Giant Spell.
I honestly, I know he loves to do that, but I would have liked to see a straight up Randuin's out of that Cinder Hulk. I mean, it gives you that bonus, gives you the bonus health off of your max health.
Yeah, Thor doing more Garen things here. Who's the villain? So Brahm's the villain right now.
Braum.
What does that mean?
It means that every time Garen does damage to him, it's going to do, I believe, 1% true damage of his max health that he has. Looks like Swift is about to get caught out by Ari.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Deader than dead, dude. There's no way,
dead.
yeah. I don't think he even used Charm there. It's
No, he
not
didn't
even
need to.
needed. They knew Swift didn't have those summoners. And Thermidor,
He's going balls on
Dragon
this guy
hops
right
in
now.
here. He's going to try to chase down Mitsurugi, and the damage is coming through. He has the red buff, flashes onto Mitsurugi, and will pick up the kill. So
Able to get that vengeance.
yeah, no Caitlyn death in vain here. And Thor,
Oh,
a
Thor,
little too
this
late
is
to
a
defend his
mistake.
tower, and now he's in a 1v2 here. Yeah, it should be able to get out. He's pretty tanky. He's got the Deadman's Blade too.
See, a lot of people tend to go with that Deadman's Plate right after the Black Cleaver, just because you're gonna get so much bonus movement speed out of that and your Q. You're gonna be able to chase down anyone essentially that you want. Using the Deadman's Plate is a little bit of a finesse weapon too. He's going to be able to split push lanes just with his E, and he won't actually even need to auto attack, so you can always keep that fully stacked Deadman's Plate to kind of get away, use it as a bit of CC that he lacks in his kit.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually like this, and he is really far ahead, so he can afford to pick up these 2 damage items. And now I'd assume he's just gonna go straight up full tank.
Yeah, such is Garen's life.
Yeah.
You're allowed 1 damage item, but we need you to be a tank. Yeah, he started out 4-0, and he has yet to kind of expand upon that lead. I mean, he does have a little bit of a CS lead here in the top lane, by about 20 CS. We'll have to see how he does here in team fights if they do choose to fight, or if they get caught out.
Yeah, and there's 20 CS discrepancies all across the board. You got top lane in the Radio's favor, but you also have mid lane in the CS favor, but you also have Kainos in 20 CS lead over Aegis Hero.
Yeah, you're more of a bot lane aficionado. Tell me about, tell me how much that 20 CS is going to make a difference in Team Saltshaker's favor.
Not too much at this point in the game. Sivir having the Zeal is alright. Like, I think Sivir is definitely the stronger ADC at this point in the game right now. Caitlyn actually enters like a power trough in the mid game. So it's not going to be for a while until she gets at least that 1 attack speed item, and then the last whiskey before she starts becoming relevant again. Oh, and Mr. Rookie, he's spear rushed in, he gets the charm down on Aegis Hero. Still had the flash was up in maybe 30 seconds, but he will go down. Cruise Master's also going to go down trying to save that tower as well.
Thor flashes in, ults are, but it's going to be for all for naught, because he's just going to give up a kill 1 for 1.
Yeah,
it looked like Siobhan was trying to come in, but
yeah, not on the same page here, and Guerrilla Radio was not there to try to defend that tower. Like, you can give that tower up as long as you have your split pushes in other lanes.
But the split pushers gave up on the split, and it looks like they pulled back to defend that mid. I think they just needed 1 person there to defend against that split. I mean, Death God, in my opinion, should have stuck with the split. You just have to believe in it, and I think they would have just traded tower for tower at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, they might be. If Thermidor was top, I didn't really see where he was, but he might have been able to get the top with Death God in the bottom. So you trade 2 tier 2s for a tier 2 mid.
Well, see,
I'd take that any day.
I think if they didn't pull at least 1 person back, they would have just face tanked that mid tower with Darius and Braum.
Oh, this is
risky.
Dude. This seems like super desperation, and I don't think they need to resort to this yet.
They're able to get it.
Down right now though. Baron goes down and they pick it up, and they pick up Master Splinter too. So it's actually a very good Baron call here. I don't think Saltshaker saw that coming.
Well, they did have a ward in the banana bush outside of red team's red buff. They saw him run through it, but I guess they just thought they were going to go set up vision. But instead, they're going to take Baron and mid tower and Splinter's life. This is a big play out.
This is a huge play. Yeah, they just swung it to 4K gold lead. The last play out of Saltshaker, they evened it up, but that right there, that Baron call
and bot
the
lane
mid tower take.
They're gonna get bot lane too. Oh
yeah,
jeez.
This is a really good shot calling. This is fantastic.
If they fall back to dragon,
the rotation game too. That's exactly what they need to do.
Exactly. They gotta fly like a butterfly and strike when they can, and just never get caught out. It looks like they're going to get dragon here. Team Saltshaker does have all of their champions up. We'll have to see if they try to engage. They're gonna get dragon too. This was a perfect sweep play here.
Jesus, man, the gold swing around here. Death God actually
this might be a mistake.
Oh, I don't know. Really, they decide to fight here. Master Splinter goes into the back line, and Thor and Thermidor, they're trying the best to take out the front line. But it's not going to be enough. Actually, Thor takes down Braum before he goes down. Double kill for himself.
They were doing so well. They traded 3 for 2 there. Team Saltshaker actually just able to get up in their face, start that team fight like they wanted. That was good for Team Saltshaker. Able to kind of maintain the bleeding, stop them from getting any more objectives, if there even are any left on this map.
Yep. Yeah, no, that was a good call by Saltshaker to try to force the fight there, because, like we were saying, they still win the straight-up 5v5, and they did right there. And Cruise Master was so low, so that could have even gone even better for Saltshaker. I think, you know, Death God getting pulled there, they probably should have just left him to die, but I think he might have been able to get out with his ult.
He was able to get out. His ult was still up. He would have gotten away. I think they just needed to keep running. They needed to keep their rotation up. They needed to keep their feet moving.
Yeah, I think Guerrilla Radio said, okay, now we're turning, you know, but
in reality, they just didn't even need to do that.
Yeah. I mean, 7-3 for Thor.
Exactly.
He was basically tanking 3 people by himself and able to pick up 2 kills for himself that fight. But Darius also matches him for items, essentially, here. He's actually got the same damage items in the Merc Treads. Both of them itemizing a little different stats. A little MR for Thor, while armor for Scotchonaut, and that's just based on team comp. Like
Scotch
we were saying,
isn't going to pick up any MR. I mean, he doesn't really need to.
Yeah, and that's a growing concern that you bring up. Like the mostly physical damage team that doesn't scale well. Like if every person picks up an armor item, it's so effective against a purely physical team. Mitsurugi pops his own, needs to avoid the Caitlyn ult. The Spirit Rush is also down right now, so this would be a good time to fight if they find it, but they got the split push going. They got the 1-3-1 right now.
Yeah, it's the rotation game, as we said. One thing I do want to bring up, though, is in the time that we talked about it since last, Hecarim was actually able to pick up his Trinity Force that he finished, as well as Aranduin's. So he's going to be taking that reduced crit damage, as well as soon as he ults in, just drop that Aranduin's, drop the bomb, and be able to,
that's really good, actually. Yeah, so Splinter is definitely way more effective right now. Man, that was quick. Aranduin's entrance force, and here we go. Oh man, that's there, stopping the engagement. Match Splinter, he's still in the back line. He's feeling for Swift right now. Doesn't look like it's gonna be anyone. Zyrel's gonna try to help disengage, but it's too late. Double kill for Splinter and
triple
just
kill
a
for Splinter.
wipe for Saltshaker. Triple kill for Splinter.
Yeah, they were staying their welcome a bit too long there. They needed to let the pressure come in the other lanes, make sure the bot gets pushed to the tower, make sure mid gets pushed to the tower, and then maybe siege that. I just think they were staying a bit too long there.
Yeah, there was just some player mismatches there because the right people were, for Saltshaker at least, you had Sivir and Hecarim together with the Braum, so you can basically just engage with anything at that point. I think Cruise Master helped Zyrel a little too long. He did it way late in the game.
Yeah.
If he just did it right away, it might have stopped that straight up. And Thermidor, he's going to fight.
Oh,
the
2
bot
for
lane
1.
Here.
He's going to go for 3.
Oh, see you later. Mitsurugi, he's going to miss the charm. Thermidor's going back in. He's got the blade. Oh, Caitlyn ult is not going to be enough because Scotchonaut blocks it with his big burly man's body. And, whoa, Best Splinter's going to pick up a kill on Death God across the map.
What time are you at? You're a little behind me.
No, I'm live.
31:30?
Hmm?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a beautiful play out of Shyvana there to get that 2 for 1. You just wish she would have seen them rotating. That Darius came over and kind of messed up her damage on that Ahri.
Yeah.
If he wasn't there,
man, that was so
3.
close. Thermidor almost just made like a huge play there. I mean, he did make a huge play.
Almost,
Honestly,
yeah.
He did do the 1v2 solo by himself. But look at let's bring up the wards for Guerrilla Radio. Their whole team probably, headed by Cruise Master with the Sightstone, but the entire blue side of Saltshaker is warded up with red.
Yeah, that's great. Honestly, I want to give a little bit of that credit to Swift. I'm not in their team comm right now, but I can almost guarantee he's telling his team, hey, every back get at least 2 wards. If we're gonna win, we're gonna run off rotations, and that's how we win.
and they upgraded their sweepers. That's amazing right now, and you've got green wards in the inventory. That's just stellar. A lot of players don't realize how big that is. The team fight begins, and they're gonna leave Thermidor to die there. That's the smart choice.
Almost not even
so
a team fight.
much engage coming out of Saltshaker.
Looks like Death God Nero is going to lead him on a wild goose chase. Master Splinter is going to more than likely catch up. He is a horse after all.
Yep. Oh, Death God, he might have gone the wrong way here. Master Splinter, he has that Randuin's. Yeah, it's going to get the slowdown. And, yep, there's the Winter's Bite. Definitely going to be finished off here. Yeah, Death God, you just got to turn and fight. I don't think you're getting out of this, bud. You got the stacks, blood stacks on you.
I saw Swift, as that was going on, Lady HS0 trying to put a little bit of pressure mid. They're going to get a lot of CS gold out of that, but they're also going to lose a dragon.
Damn, so okay, so 2 dragons for Salt Shaker. Maybe Salt Shaker or Guerrilla Radio should have been prioritizing the dragons a little bit more. They still have 3.
Yeah, it seemed to me that once Shyvana got sated, they're just like, okay, I'm sated, we don't need any more dragons. When in reality, you need every dragon you can possibly get.
And it means you get the dragons really fast with Shyvana and Trinity.
Yeah.
Or actually, just Shyvana with anyone there helping her. Or, Shyvana by herself, actually, can just do the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing, I don't know if you feel it, but I'm starting to feel it. The momentum for Team Guerrilla Radio is just slowly slowing down.
Yep.
We're going to have to see if they can keep these rotations up. I feel a Baron fight coming out here in which you usually want to have all 5 of your players, and they're kind of relying on that split. We're going to have to see what they do. If they end up just opting to give up Baron, or if they try to fight this massive Team Salt Shaker.
Yep, yeah, it's right now just playing around the Baron. The idea for Guerrilla Radio is we need to set up the split push again, and they're doing that. They're putting pressure down bot. They're gonna wait to see who answers it. Scotchanaut still has TP, so he will probably be sent down to the bottom lane, while the 4 members of Team Salt Shaker can go pressure the Baron. Salt Shaker, on the other hand, they just want to force the Baron fight. They want to force open field 5v5s. And if Guerrilla Radio actually says, yeah, we can do that, then Salt Shaker just wins the game outright on the next Baron. Honestly, if it's a huge team fight wipe for Salt Shaker at the Baron, I don't see Guerrilla Radio coming out of this. Because Guerrilla Radio needs that Baron to make the split push effective.
Essentially, the improved siege minion is so big when you have Baron buff. The tower can't even reach it, so they can just siege from out of the wall. It looks like they're gonna fight down here. See how it plays out for Death God. Doesn't really have any armor 10 items.
Well, here's the thing: Scotchanaut could just TP out of this.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Exactly.
Yep,
he could prospectively.
It.
No, he can't stop it, but then he TP's out. Death God's gonna get that tower for sure.
Yeah,
without
Death God probably just win the
game. One thing I've noticed is Death God started this game 2-2. Now he is 2-5-1. He's died for free these past 3 times. Hasn't really gotten enough gold to finish the Blade of the Rune King or any sort of Last Whisper. It's going to be increasingly hard to kill the enemy team, who are all building armor.
Oh, don't care.
Doesn't care. Gets the crit.
Don't care. Spin to win. You know, and he splashed out of it ignited.
Oh
See you later.
God.
Death God's gonna get the inhib here.
It's gonna force the backs.
The recalls are too late. This is an inhib for Guerrilla Radio, and man, Swift just gotta be cheering on his bud Death God here, doing Death God things.
They stopped the backs.
Scotchanaut has TP. Death God doesn't. Why are they not using that? Why are they not abusing that fact?
Well, I'm misunderstanding. What do you mean? How would he use that TP effectively?
Well, they just gotta force Baron. Salt Shaker should have just went, we're gonna do Baron right now, because so what? You get Baron and you lose an inhib, but you have Baron, so you push out the super wave, and you're still ahead. You can still fight more effectively. I think that was the trade they needed to do there. They didn't want Scotchanaut just to die for free and lose the inhib.
Well,
Salt Shaker a little indecisive there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they really should have just pulled the trigger on that. Now Baron is still up, they're down an inhib, and bot lane is just going to slowly push in. Death God does still have that teleport up though, so we'll have to see if they end up pulling that teleport to the Baron buff.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and yeah, so he still has TP, but now this is good for Salt Shaker. Now, well, actually, it depends on where Death God goes.
Yeah, it looks like Death God is sitting in base right now, probably having a cup of tea or whatever Death God does. Oh no, here he comes. Here he comes. Picks up a chain vest instead of Okay.
I think he's probably going for Thornmail just to duel anyone on the enemy team.
That's understandable, but why not Blade of the Rune King? Then, as you're raging, you're taking 0 damage, but you're dealing
Oh,
percent
wait,
health.
yeah, you're right. He has Cutlass.
Yeah,
Why
he
is
hasn't
not
even finished.
finished?
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm not going to question it. Maybe there's a method to the madness.
I mean, comparative to Death God's previous game, his building has been pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
His items have been pretty good. Now, maybe there's a tactical decision that we're not seeing there. Like maybe that Thornmail really is that important because he will be able to duel Scotch. He could duel anyone actually. He can 1v1 anyone on the enemy team except for Mitsurugi.
I'm going to cut you off because he just went back again.
Oh, he's got the GA.
Oh, he's buying the GA.
Death God special. Here we go. Why you can't die twice, can you?
No,
I mean,
yeah, you can die twice, but we'll have to see if he's able to
gonna
effectively.
stick around that long.
Maybe that's what he's hoping. Like as I'm reviving, maybe they just forget I'm here.
Yeah.
But now it looks like he's grouping with his team mid. Gonna get Rom queued. Winter's Bite, I believe it's called.
Yep.
Indeed it is.
Yeah, Winter's Bite, the harsh winds of winter. And he's just taking it for free. Death God not giving a fuck. And now they got Thor 74 down in the
Thor
bot
is
lane.
spinning all over his
Taking
face.
down 1v1 Scotch. Now, I feel so bad for Scotch now. He's just been the big bully of 1v1s here. And Death God, he's spinning in. Tries to go into the back line. He gets stunned up by passive for Braum. And he does use his ultimate to survive.
They got the
still not
1-3-1 going. Super minions are pushing in bot while Thermidor is able to take top. The teleport came out of Thor, correct?
Yeah, Thor TP'd into the mid to try to help it. And that's fine. That's totally fine.
This is going to be 5th. Oh no, 3rd dragon. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong ticker here. This is going to be 3rd dragon. We're going to get that movement speed boost. A slight buff to Hecarim's damage, but they're also going to be able to rotate a bit easier against this full rotate team.
Yeah, are they doing the Baron right now?
No. Oh my god, maybe they are.
Yeah, they're doing the Baron right now, and have 3 members trying to defend them. Zyrel comes out to try to disengage here, but it's just Thor and Death God trying to do all they can.
They get the Baron.
Kill, and the Baron comes out. Swift and Thermidor are here for the rescue.
Here comes the dragon.
Dinos might go down here.
Oh,
and he's gonna go down. There's 3 members down for Salt Shaker.
It's now a 2-3 situation. They have supers pushing in bot. They're gonna be able to siege mid almost no problem here with this Baron buff. Looks like Thor 74 is just gonna escort that minion wave, and
yeah, they're gonna easily pick up an inhib for this.
That was huge.
Yeah, that is what a great play. Like that's really smart. You keep your 2 damage dealers on the Baron, and Thor and Death God and effectively 3v5ing the enemy team. Ooh, actually, I don't know if they're gonna get this.
Yeah, they just don't have the wave clear that they need.
Yeah.
They get a Nexus turret though out of those out of those creep.
Okay. I mean, still at the end of the day, that's a huge win for Guerrilla Radio. They have a 5k gold lead now. 8 towers to 4. Man, it's looking good for Guerrilla Radio right now, and I'm getting a little hype here right now. I'm kind of like half standing up, half sitting.
I got butterflies. I have butterflies. I don't know about anyone else, but I have butterflies. The stage is set for an upset.
The stage is set, yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to see if they use this Baron effectively. It looks like only Swift and Shyvana have it, and Thor 74, which is exactly who you want to have it on. You want to have it on the Shyvana. She's gonna be able to split super hard. We'll see if they keep this split up, or if they end up opting to team fight, which I personally think would be a mistake.
Yeah, easily a mistake. Their team fighting at any point in the game is a mistake. And this is good. They got Death God in that bottom lane.
No, they're coming down to pinch your Death God.
Oh no, Death God just fight Splinter.
No, you can't fight Splinter. He is way too tanky. He is so manly. He's got Dead Man's Plate. He's got Randuin's Omen. He's so fast. But it looks like Guerrilla Radio is getting mid here.
He's trying to X-Pack it.
He's gonna get it.
Oh yeah.
No, he won't. He's not gonna get it.
Oh no!
But they get mid tower. They get mid tower for it. Open up mid. He didn't have Baron, so it wasn't that much of a loss. Looks like they're gonna have to end up stalling out Baron. But Cruz is going to get caught out here.
Right into the ultimate. Cruz after gets caught out here, and he will surely go down. Two members down now for Guerrilla Radio.
The remaining members of Guerrilla Radio really have to pucker their butt up, save this mid tower. Otherwise, this could spell disaster for this stage that was set.
Yeah. The stage is crumbling.
The stage is crumbling.
This is not up to OSHA standards
Who
right now.
built it on sand? Who built this stage on sand?
Oh god, and it's gonna be an inhib for Team Soul Shaker here, and oh man, you gotta imagine. I don't think
they're gonna keep pushing.
I don't. Yeah. Oh man, the death timers are pretty long.
They got engaged.
25 seconds here. They're gonna do everything they can. They got Thermidor and Thor going in together. The tag team.
Swift is putting down damage with his red buff.
Trying to get to the back line.
Oh no, Swift!
As the ADC, that is the what?
Oh no!
There. No one went down for Soul Shaker. That's probably gonna be the game.
Thor gets exhausted.
Oh, man, Thor's trying so hard, buddy. It's not gonna be enough.
Hold on, here comes Cruz to save the day. Puts down damage. Oh no, the.
Yeah, Death God, sometimes GA though, double kill from Splinter, and it's still going. Death God's still going hard. He's got the ultimate.
No.
Oh man.
That's an
Maybe
ace.
take down Splinter.
Oh no.
No,
This is
the
it.
soonest is 30 seconds for someone on Guerrilla Radio.
This is game.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Rumble. What happened here?
They had it in their favor. They had Baron buff. They had 2 inhibs that were open. Oh, honestly, that is exactly what Team Soul Shaker needed to do. Just push as hard as they can.
Yeah.
Never relent. Just win the game. And they had the team comp for it.
Yeah, just slam your face against them. And that's what they did. Honestly, Million Babies, he started that game-winning push. He flashed over a Zyra root, I believe, and he landed the Winter's Bite. And so Death God was already down, right? But a 4v5 might have been able to just have you lose the inhib. But with Cruz down, that made it pretty easy to get the inhib and then even more. And it's sloppy team fighting at the end there for Guerrilla Radio, but oh man, just what a tragedy. Almost a big upset of the week. But let's not take away the victory for Salt Shaker. I mean, we all like to see underdog stories, but let's congratulate Salt Shaker here. They are still undefeated for this season. That's so impressive. 8-0. Who do you think is the MVP here?
Oh my god, I cannot decide an MVP. One thing I do want to point out, Darius 298 CS to Thor's 238. He was really able to close that gap. I think we need to get a Million Babies in here because that last Winter's Bite really solidified that team fight, that last push. If you have another that you'd like to pull in, I think it'd be a good choice.
Let's get Splinter and Babies in here.
Okay. Hopefully the TeamSpeak gods are able to speak to us. TeamSpeak gods, please respond. Hello, are you okay?
Please.
User was moved to your
Perfect.
channel.
Okay. Master Splinter,
someone's
welcome.
working on it.
Moved to your
Million
channel.
Babies, welcome.
Babies.
Hey there.
And congrats on yet another victory. Does this get old for you guys?
No.
This hard.
I was shaking so much at the end of that game.
I was too. 30 and I were both on the edges of our seats.
Jimmies were rustled. Man.
My jimmies were tossed.
Yeah. Alright, so right off the bat, early game didn't really go. I mean, it was just a small gold lead for Guerrilla Radio, pretty much the entire game. And then after they got that one Baron and just like swept across the map, they like went to Baron, they got towers, and then up and got Dragon. What was the feeling like that? It became like a 5k gold deficit. What was the shot calling there?
Well, we just stayed too long mid, and then everyone had to back, so did a good call on rushing Baron. I was still around there. I probably shouldn't have tried to steal it, but I tried to be the hero. And then I died and didn't get it.
Right, but what was the mindset after that? Like, what was the strategy?
So I anticipated them
User
just force
joined your
Baron, and they
channel.
never forced the Baron, which I thought was a really bad mistake by them. Because what they needed to do after that, or that was after they got the gold lead and they got the bottom inhib. After the Baron was just like, okay, that's fine. We'll just stay on towers, and they won't be able to actually dive us, I wouldn't think. So,
Yeah.
but then once they got the bot inhib, they just needed to force the Baron, and if we lost that fight, they won the game.
But
they never forced it. So
I think they wanted to, but if you take a look at your comp, there is almost zero way they're going to be able to fight your team at a Baron. If we're being completely honest,
I wanted them to. But
I know you wanted to.
But that was their win conditions too. Or just keep on split pushing, which has been working. But we learned the hard way when Scotch couldn't 1v1 the Trinamir, so then I went down there and
you ended up pincering that Trend, and then it kind of
and
snowballed.
then
from
Babies got a great catch on Cruz at the
Yeah.
end too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, Babies. Like, did you just see Cruise Master a little far out and knew that this would be a guaranteed kill if you flash Winter's Bite?
I figured there was a good chance. I mean, Cruz had all of the CC for them, so if we take them out, we could definitely win the team fight there.
And that's what ended up happening. You took them out, won the team fight, won the game. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, during like team fights, was your main goal to protect Kainos and Mitsurugi as best you can, even though you're going against like really big divers in Shyvana and Garen and Tryndamere? Like, how did it feel to try to protect against all of that?
It sucked.
We learned that we had to protect them though, because I think we lost a dragon fight where Kainozen went a little too forward, which really he didn't go that forward, but Garen was on him and Garen just melted him. So we learned the hard way one time, and I think we adapted a little bit, but it was tough to get good team fights that game.
Yeah, and that's we were saying that's really what Guerrilla Radio wanted to do, was just never team fight, run away from you guys.
Pretty much,
yeah. Either way, it was a great game. I'm very impressed with both teams' play. You just ended up pulling that one out.
Yeah, it was stressful.
You guys had the perseverance, and I mean, you guys have shown throughout this entire season you can win the game, just get a huge early goal lead, and just sort of stomp the enemy, or you can, even lose a little bit early game, but perseverance, shot calling, team fighting in the late game, and you guys still come out ahead. Moving into the end of the season here, we got 2 games left. Is this going to be a perfect season?
That's the plan, but take it week by week. I mean, right now I'm just hoping that Thomas the Tank Engine loses, so then we secure first place.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll get on that in the next game, and we'll use that as a transition into our next game. Stay tuned, folks, and we'll be coming to you